Today, we will learn how to encrypt user passwords when registering new user. However, before we start, let's fix a typo from last video. Enter models folder in user.js file. The last statement update mongoose.schema to mongoose.model. Since we already have created user model in last chapter, let's start to create user backend API. Enter backend controllers folder. Create a new file named usercontroller.js. First, import user model on the top. Next step, define a asynchronous function named register user, camel case. Inside the function, define try and catch statements. In try block, getting name, email, and password variables from request.body. Request.body is the data sent by client side to backend API. The following statements calling user model create method to create a new user object, passing data including name, email, and password. The response from server returns status code 201. 201 means created successfully, following by a JSON object. If anything goes wrong, it will go straight to the catch block. It will display the error message. After finishing user controller file, next step to create a new root for register user API path. Enter roots folder. Create a file named auth.js. This file will handle user authentication here. First, import Express library. Define router variable. Import register user function from user controller file. Create a new root path \register. Make sure to use post HTTP method because we are creating a new user, not getting a user here. Passing register user as callback function. Last step, exports the router. In order to make a register path works, open app.js file and the root folder. Import auth roots from auth.js file. Add auth roots as application middleware by calling app.use methods. Next step, we will test register API in Postman. Open Postman program. Create a new HTTP request by click plus button. Set URL equals to HTTP /localhost port number 4000 /API /v1 /register. Make sure set HTTP method to post. Select body raw and from drop-down list, choose JSON format. In text box below, input a JSON object with name, email, and passwords. Press send button. The response window shows new user is created successfully. In user model, email has been set with validation rules. It must be unique. Let's try it out using same email address again. The response window shows no duplicate email allowed. Change email address to invalid format. The response window shows email format is invalid. Password has been set minimum length to 6 characters. Reduce password length to 5. The response window shows password must be at least 6 characters. It seems all the validation rules are working correctly. The only left is to encrypt passwords to make it secure. But where should we encrypt the passwords? It is in the user controller or user model. The answer is in user model file. First, we need to install a new Node package. Open terminal window, type command npm i bcrypt.js. Open user.js file and the models folder. Import bcrypt.js library on the top. Scroll down to the bottom before last statements, calling user schema.presale methods. This function will execute before saving data into database. The first parameter is data field name. Set it to password. It can be any other data field names like name and email. The second parameter is an asynchronous callback function. Inside function, first to check if the password has been modified. If it has been modified, calling next function to skip the following statement. If it hasn't, calling bcrypt.js function to hash password. The options details can be found from documentation. Test it in Postman program, this time using different email address. The response window shows password 123457 transferring into a long random string. It means the password has been encrypted successfully. Now we have finished to encrypt user passwords. Next chapter, we will learn how to generate JSON Web Token, allowing authentication for our application.